On this show, we have a tradition, a bit of sort of our growing reputation of suddenly plucking fighters out of nowhere. And they come on the show and people go, where'd you get him from? He was a fantastic fighter. How did you find him? Well, there's a guy that helps us, Gary Totten. Thanks very much, Gazza. And this week's sort of special guest blast from the past, well, he had 52 fights as a pro, and he fought against a lot of good fighters, lost to James Toney for a world title, beat Steve Collins for a world title, won the IBF Light Heavyweight Championship, finally lost it again to Roy Jones in 1999. Now, he's had a good and hard life, and now you know what I mean by that. It is a delight and a pleasure to welcome to the Bunce Hour here on Box Nation in London, Reggie Johnson. Reggie!
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fantastic, Reggie. How are you, and how's life treating you at the moment, Reggie?
Well, I'm doing fine, and life is great.
What do you do day to day, Reggie? Are you in a gym working with fighters?
No, I'm pursuing a fourth world title. You know, Mr. Bunce, as the boxing community and the general public know, I've been fighting in a different arena.
Yeah.
Being wrongly charged and arrested and jailed due to our corrupt and abusive criminal justice system. But
but that's
to
in
get
the
that
past
out of the way,
now.
I just want to say...
that's in the past. You're a free man now, Reggie, yes?
Right, absolutely. Well, that fight is ongoing, but that's what I'm getting to. I'm now focused on getting the title that I lost due to going to jail. I had just won the world title 3 months before I was arrested, beating a guy that the boxing fans of UK should know. He fought your Clinton Woods,
Gonzalez.
Julio Gonzalez.
So that was the IBF crown. So you're still young enough in theory, Reggie. And what about your shape and your weight when you were in jail? Did you maintain it?
Well, you know, you're in a situation where you're in a situation where you're probably being broke down mentally and physically. I got up to 227. I'm back down to like 195, and I'm going back down to 175 in hopes of winning a fourth world title.
Now, Reggie, you're obviously back in the gym. You're losing the weight. Will there be any problems with you getting a license back on account of being a felon?
No. That won't be a problem. As a matter of fact, not to be funny, but that may help me get a license.
So, have you targeted anybody in particular? And perhaps after a warm-up fight, have you considered our very own Nathan Cleverly, providing you look sharp enough? He's our British WBO light heavyweight champion. He defends his title this Saturday. Have you seen anything of Nathan?
Well, I would love to bring my talent over to fight Mr. Cleverly. I know he's got a fight he's got to worry about next week. But yes, that would be a nice fight to have, and I'd love to come to the UK and fight Nathan. I was just at the Tavarius Cloud, the IBF World Champion fight Saturday past.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really only interested in fighting one of the young champions.
Well, Tavarius Cloud didn't look that good, did he, in all fairness? I don't think so.
Well, I felt he lost the fight, but, you know, I've been around a long time, and, you know, those type of things happen in boxing. I suffered a loss like that to James Toney and 3 other fights in my career. So, you know, my heart bled for the young man from Spain, but, you know, life goes on, and hopefully that'll make him a better fighter, and he'll still prevail one day, become champion again. Let's
hope so. Looking back over your record, obviously there's that split decision, a loss in your first World Championship fight to James Toney back in 1991. Let me ask you 2 questions and give me 2 answers. The first question is, who's the best man you've ever met? And the second question is, what was the most satisfying of your victories, Reggie?
Well, it's kind of hard. I fought a lot of tough fighters. If you twist my arm and make me say that, I would have to say Roy Jones. He wasn't the toughest, but he was the most skillful fighter I fought.
Good, that's honest. And what about your most satisfying night in the prize ring, Reggie Johnson?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, to the fans of the great boxing territory of UK, it was against Steve Collins. You know, it's always great to come back and win a world title when you'd have lost in your first chance. So I would say the fight with Irish Steve Collins who's an icon over there in the UK.
He certainly is, and he really is, because he obviously towards the end of his career and a few years after you beat him, he came up against Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn. Let me ask you this, Reggie. Were you ever linked and were you ever close to fighting either Chris Eubank or Nigel Benn? Were they on Reggie Johnson's radar?
Well, I don't know if you remember back in the day, but Don King held this big press conference for all the middleweights and super middleweights, and he's going to put on a big tournament.
Michael Nunn was included in that, wasn't he?
I think it was like early 90s, but it didn't materialize. I had a chance to meet Chris Eubanks there in New York, but
never happened.
I mean, I think that was my only chance of getting in the ring with the Eubanks.
In the ring, in a room. Listen, Reggie, it's been an absolute pleasure, and have a fantastic few months, and we'll get you on again. As soon as you have a fight, perhaps your attorney could speak to us, and we'll get you on before or maybe after your contest. Reggie Johnson, it's been an absolute pleasure and a delight speaking to you this evening. Thanks,
All
Reggie.
right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Reggie. We could have had some sound effects there to clap him off, but it's been a bit of a serious night, so we've been sort of playing those down. Well, I hope you're enjoying the show tonight. We had a very serious start. We had Frank Warren in and Colin Hart in. Plenty of people asking lots of questions about different things. Lots of people saying, well, why didn't the people on the top table, including Frank, just stop Derek? Well, Derek was up, down the steps and gone. People were calling him. And what are you going to do? Dive over the table and put him in a headlock? You know, that's... We've got to be realistic here. It's in real time. The whole thing doesn't last for 40 seconds. Anyway, you're watching Steve Bunce on the Bunce Hour here on Box Nation. See you in a few minutes.